We have seen how we can develop the basic organization structure in the company creation and in the company code lectures. Before we move on to the specifics of working with the HR aspect, let me explain the role of the SAP HR consultant. Your job is to ready the backend SAP system so that an end user, who is most likely going to be some employee or a corporate HR manager, can log hours and do the basic employment tasks such as recruitment and advertising for positions. So let's start this lecture's topic, which is going to be on personnel areas. Here we're going to be working in the definition aspect of enterprise structure, and we'll be coming down to the human resources management for the first time and going on to personnel areas. Let's come down to creating a new personnel area, and we'll hit choose. And let me just give you some background on what the personnel area is. When we're working with payroll, it is very important to identify the geographical location where the company branch is located. So, having a company in, say, California might require you to provide a different set of benefits, say, to an employee, or it might have a different set of tax codes for that employee versus a company set up in New York. When the end user goes to create a new employee, we're going to be providing a field which allows the end user to identify the general location as to where the company code to which they report to is going to fall. This general location is called the personnel area. Here you can see there are a couple of personnel areas already defined. One is there for Berlin, Hamburg, another for Dresden, Frankfurt, which are all cities in Germany. Before we move on to the creation of this personnel area, there's a key distinction that I would like to note, and it is that the location from which the employee belongs to is not the personnel area. So don't confuse the location of the employee with the personnel area. The personnel area is going to be where the branch is located. So where is your company branch registered? That is what matters, because that is where you're going to be paying your taxes and following the government requirements. So enough explanation. Let's head on and create our personnel area. I'm going to go to new entries, and here we're going to be entering some information about the personnel area. We'll be calling this USA1, and here we'll give some information about the personnel area. Say something like XYZ USA personnel area. Here we can define some information about the address. So we'll say something like 781, and this is going to be located in Detroit itself. So we'll say 781 Detroit Street, and here we'll give information about the postal code. Let's define the city, Detroit, and all these other aspects which it is asking for, such as the country key, state, county code, and city code, are going to allow you to define the personnel area a little more concretely into the system. However, we want to stay at the Detroit area, and this is going to actually be covering a couple of cities. So in the US, when you define, say, Detroit, oftentimes you'll be having all of those suburbs surrounding Detroit, and all of those will be covered in this Detroit personnel area. So we're going to now hit save. Here we're just going to enter the country. I'm not going to take your time and explain all of this. We have already done this before. And this is basically going to be the same as our company, since we're locating this personnel area in the same region as our company. So here let's just hit OK, activate our request, and we have created our personnel area. Let's move on to the next lecture, where we're going to be exploring how we can work with employee groups.